Hi everyone, good morning. Sorry about the little delay, had a bit of a technical glitch. Just waiting to be joined by my guest, Aryan. And I can see Aryan is right. Good morning, Pooja, Gayatri, Laksh. Thank you all for joining in. Hi Aryan, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good. Sorry for the bit of a delay. I had a technical glitch, so I was just trying to get it fixed before we go live.
It's perfectly fine.
So great to have you and a very warm welcome. Very
Thank
happy
you.
to finally be doing this with you now. I've been discussing it with your mom for a while because I wanted to have you on this. I really felt that it would be great to chat with you and it would be very inspiring for a lot of the teenagers and young children who might be watching it now or will watch it later. So, to introduce you to everybody, Aryan Manchanda is a very talented, hardworking, diligent 18-year-old, and he has attended 4 years of boarding school at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain, which is like wow, especially for a tennis lover like me. And he's also now at university in the US, and he's of course doing online classes from here, like everyone else. So, Aryan, let's start with you telling us a little bit about your childhood, your early years in school where you were in Delhi and how you got into tennis.
So, I don't exactly remember how I got into tennis because I was really young. I was 4 years old.
Okay,
My parents didn't want me to sit in front of the TV or the laptops, so they put me into tennis. My dad chose the sport very carefully because it's an individual sport and you can be your own team.
right,
So, starting with the sport, I was playing in the um, neighborhood courts for
right.
2 or 3 days. But then
Right.
gradually, as my interest kept increasing, I went to Seaford for 6 days a week. And then, yeah, that was
So
the
how
start.
did you manage with school every day, going to school and then going to City Fort for practice? That must have been
So,
tough looking at the traffic.
yeah, because the traffic in Delhi is very annoying, and
Yes.
I have to travel for 2 or 3 hours per day. So
Wow.
yeah, and I had to eat lunch and do my homework with mom while traveling in the car.
And how old were you when this routine sort of came into place that you were
Six or
doing this?
seven, 6, 7.
So at the age of 6, 7, you were traveling for like 3 to 4 hours every day, apart from school and homework and playing tennis every day.
Yeah.
So you were obviously that good, or I mean, how did this? Was it just organic that they realized you were good? Your coaches also must have said that he's got it in him. Where do you think that you found that sort of motivation at 6 or 7? It's a very early age.
Yeah. So when I was playing in the neighborhood club, I went to the Mahesh Bhupati's academy, and
Okay.
they said that I have some sort of talent and I should try to take it. Like I should pursue it. So they
Right.
recommended me to join Seaford Academy.
Okay.
So
And
I
that's when
joined
you
there.
joined.
And yeah.
Okay. And then how did the tournament sort of happen? You started playing, right, within the country? So
Yeah.
did you go? Yeah.
Yeah. It was a gradual thing. First, it was target hitting tournaments
Okay.
when I was really young, and
Yeah.
then I played some local tournaments
Okay.
in within Delhi, and then slowly we started playing ITA tournaments
I
first, which
does.
is
Yeah. Yeah.
national
Yeah.
tournament, and then
Yeah.
ITS, and then I went to US last 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where did this entire thing come about of the academy, of Nadal's academy? How did that happen?
So I went there for summer. It was just a summer plan for two
Okay.
months, and then
Okay.
when I went there, I realized that it was really life was really good, and I realized that I didn't have to spend all my life traveling. So I shifted
Yeah.
base. I tried, like my parents supported me a lot.
Yeah. No, so
My
how did you
family,
make up your mind? So tell me, you went there, and I mean, of course, it's Spain and it's Rafa and all of that. But it's a little frightening also to be so far away from home. I mean, I've been to boarding school. Your mom's been to boarding school. So in our times, it was very different. There really was no other option. So we were sent at a very early age. But to go from Delhi, where you're already set with your friends and, you know, you're an only child, you come from a business family, right? A joint family, to leave all of that and to be sent so far away, I'm sure your parents faced a lot of opposition. So tell us a little about that. Was that a tough period? And how did you really make up your mind that, you know, this is what you want to do?
So as you said, I'm the only child in my house. So
Yeah.
I was really pampered. But then, I don't know, I think I was really motivated to go to pursue it as my passion. Like, it was my passion.
Right.
So I went there. It was
And how
really
old were
tough
you at
at
that
first.
time? 12, 13 or something?
Yeah, 13 turned 14.
Okay.
I was really motivated. So I
And when you
decided, like,
went, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And then what about, you know, was there opposition from family or from friends? And, you know, did they tell your parents it's too early to send him? Why are you sending him? How did that, tell us a little bit about that?
My parents knew that I wanted to be a tennis player, so they were really supportive.
Right.
But my family was generally very supportive, but my parents really pushed it hard, and they
Right.
sent me there, and I lost all touch with my friends in India.
Okay, so let's get to that. So you got there, and I think you were one of the first few batches, right? I mean, I remember your
Yeah.
mom telling me that, you know, the construction was just kind of getting over when you
Mhm.
decided to when you went. Okay, so I'm sure the first few days were tough, leaving mom and all of that, and then suddenly it hits you that you're so far away, and like you're saying, you lost touch with your friends. You weren't allowed a phone. Is that why you lost
No,
touch?
no, we were allowed, but I was not very good, and the busy schedule over there
Right. Okay.
and the
So
time
take us.
difference.
Okay. So take us a little bit about what it was like initially to go to the academy. How different was it from your life in Delhi?
Yeah, so as I said before, I was traveling all, like, half a day I was traveling, and then when I
Right.
went there, I just realized that my room, and then I go down, there's a school, and then outside the tennis court. So life was just really easy over there.
Right.
It was easy to manage studies and tennis combined, and yeah, basically that. Like, I realized that life was just really better over there,
Okay.
and
So
I
tell
knew
me,
that I had to. Yeah.
okay. Now tell me, of course, I'm sure, I mean, this part was definitely, I'm sure, a big boon, not having to waste, you know, so much time and energy traveling. But there have to have been challenges, right? Like, I'm sure you were hit by homesickness. You were missing
Yeah.
friends, family, food. Okay, food we'll come to later. Let's just discuss the other part of the homesickness. How did you deal with that at that age?
I used to call my parents every day, thrice a day.
Okay.
Um, like, every time I was homesick, I just realized why I'm there, what I'm
Okay.
there for, and that, I think that motivated me. And I knew at the end I'm gonna spend my life with my parents. So it was just that time. It was that time that I had to suffer, and I think it went well.
But at the age of 14, to have that wisdom, not everybody does. Where was that coming from?
My mom used to always tell me that she went when she was 8, 9 to a boarding school, and if she
Right.
could do it, I could do it too.
That's true. And you did so well. Okay, so let's talk about fitness because you've told me earlier that that was a big problem with you because you're a foodie and you love food. So tell us a little about that journey.
So I'm still a big foodie, and fitness was a big challenge for me because when I went there, I was really unfit. Um, but the facilities and they gave me so much motivation that it helped me a lot. And
And
yeah.
you were able to sort of, you know, lose the weight and become fit. But you also told me at one point that you used to really miss home food. And, you know, used to sort of, when that happened, you would tend to overeat on junk. So how did you get over that?
The food wasn't the best for me because I'm an Indian and I eat a lot and desi stuff. But over there was really normal. But then
Right.
once I started missing the food, like after a few days, I used to eat many chocolates. I used to go out to the Indian restaurants and eat a lot there. Um, but then again, the fitness coaches told me that I have good talent and I have to lose weight to do something in tennis.
Right.
And that helped me.
So slowly you were able to sort of get over that, I mean, you were obviously emotional eating. That's what you were doing, right? Because you were
Yeah.
missing home, so you kind of, feeding yourself with chocolates and stuff to get over that. Okay, tell me a little bit about how was it to meet Nadal in person?
Meeting Rafa was dream come true. Um,
Yeah,
I didn't think it would happen, but then in the first time I was really shocked. I didn't know what to say in front of him. But then gradually, as we saw him every day, because he was also a part of the academy, it was pretty
right.
normal, like just a guy, I would say.
So wow. So tell us any anecdotes with him or anything that you learned while watching him as a person, as a player, anything he said to motivate you that has stayed with you?
Yeah, when you think of a person who's the best at something, you think he would be high-headed. He would have this like higher than everyone attitude, but
Yeah.
that's not true. He's very grounded, ground to earth, very nice, respects everyone. So he was just a
Wow.
normal person who's special.
Wow,
Like
that's
being so
amazing.
high. Yeah.
Really, really humble. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what it takes to be a young person, a teenager today. See, you have so many distractions now. You have, there's social media, there's so much happening around you. In our time, there wasn't so much. So it was still a little easier to kind of focus, our gaze on something. It's very tough for your generation. So, how, as a young person, that also living in another country, how do you manage to keep yourself motivated every single day to get up, go out there, have that discipline? How many hours a day were you playing? Tell us that.
I I was just enjoying my time there. Didn't really use when I was there. I didn't really use social media because of the busy schedule.
Right.
Um, yeah, just spending time with friends in real life. It's different than spending time on social media with friends.
Yeah, I
Um,
think people really need to know that. Nothing
yeah,
like that one-on-one connection.
yeah. I didn't really have time to use social media over there because I had school. I had to do homework, tennis, and then yeah, this kind of stuff let me off social media. But since I'm here, I'm using a lot of social media. Distracted
That,
now.
yeah. Okay. So how many hours a day did you play? What was your routine over there on a
So
regular
we
day?
used to wake up around 7, 6:57. We had breakfast and then straight 1 hour fitness.
Okay.
And then after that we had like a 15 minutes break. We played tennis for 3 hours, and then we had a cool down session where we stretched and stuff.
Yeah.
And after that we had like half an hour for shower, and then straight to school, one class, and then in between the classes we had lunch break, and then after school we had time for ourselves, which was homework time,
Right.
and then at 7:30ish we had dinner, and then after that it was just ourselves spending time with friends.
Okay. So you did
Yeah,
basically 3 hours of tennis, you did 1 hour of fitness, so 4 hours went there, and the rest of the day was like a regular day. So you studied the
yeah.
American program there, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, we've talked about food, fitness. Tell me now, you were playing tournaments there, of course, also. You were going out and playing. So tell us about some of those. What were the high points? What were the victories? How there must have been defeats as well. How did you handle those?
Yeah, so we played many tournaments over there, local tournaments, ITFs. We traveled a lot to Paraguay, um,
Right,
beautiful places in Spain.
right.
About highs and lows, I would say the lows were when you go for a tournament, you think you have to do well, but then when you lose, it's very disappointing. That was the main low for the
Right,
tournament. But
right.
then spending time with friends on and coaches and renting apartments and driving through those beautiful cities, I don't think that time is gonna come back. It
Yeah,
was just,
absolutely. I think that
yeah.
kind of, that kind of bonding that you have with mentors, with coaches, and, at some point you're losing, your friend is winning, it's the other way around on another tournament. But I mean, that sort of camaraderie and that team spirit and stuff, that's really, really important. Now, at any point, did you have any sort of time where you felt that you really can't do it? Either you want to come home or you're not up to the mark. I mean, everyone goes through these. or your fitness is not up to the mark and you just want to, give it all up? Did you have moments like that, and how did you deal with those?
I had moments when my studies were not as good as my parents expected. So uh, I was very disappointed about my marks and stuff. But my parents still motivated me. They were supportive. They told me the main focus is tennis, but then studies is also very important because you should always have a plan B.
Right.
Yeah, those were the
Okay.
times when it was really difficult for me.
Right. Okay. So now you've got into university in the US, right? And you have got a great tennis scholarship. So all your tennis stuff is kind of taken care of. So tell us a little bit about the university and what are you doing now? What's your average day now?
Um, so I got accepted in Fairleigh Dickinson University in New Jersey,
Right.
and since I couldn't go there because of the pandemic,
Yeah.
we started online classes on Zoom.
Right.
It's normally every day is different, but normally it's in the evening from 7:30, I would say, till 10.
Okay.
Classes are long, and in the morning I play tennis from 8 to 10, and
Okay.
then in the evening again I play from 4:30 to 6:30.
So you're still playing about 4 hours of tennis per day because obviously you have to keep your sort of game up, right? And now once you do go to the US whenever the pandemic is over, so you will be traveling for tournaments and all of that. So it will be back to balancing sort of, studies and all of that. Okay, so you're at that age now where all the partying is going to start. You're 18, there's going to be lots of distractions. How does a sports person keep himself grounded through all of this?
Love for the sport, I would say, because whenever you compare things, what you love more, I think I love tennis more than any distractions, any kind of distractions, even if it's social media or drinking or
Yeah,
drugs, anything. And my
right,
father always used to tell me that the stamina goes away if you start drinking. You get addicted. It's not like you can try once. Once you get addicted,
right.
you cannot leave it.
Yeah,
So I think that helps me a lot.
right. Okay. And do you see tennis as like, I mean, what are you planning now in the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself? Do you want to go pro? What are your plans?
Main focus is to go pro, but
Yeah,
if it can't happen, because everything depends on the university, how I'm performing. Because training is going to be fine, but performing is really important.
right,
And how's the atmosphere there of my teammates? That all
right,
depends. And I would love
right.
to see myself playing ATP tournaments, but let's see down the road. I don't know.
Okay. And of course, right now you don't know when you're going to be able to go because of COVID and things like that. So, tell me, in terms of any other discipline, have there been any injuries that you've had to recover from? Any other sort of setbacks that you have had that you hadn't anticipated?
Um, Injury. I had only one major injury when I was young. I didn't go to the academy yet. I was
Okay.
around 10, 11.
Right.
Um, yeah, that's it. Setbacks. Um, I would say fitness again. My fitness wasn't as good as my tennis if you
Right.
balance it. So
Right.
that was the major setback that I had.
Okay.
I still
So,
have.
so are you still going? Are you still doing sort of, you must be doing training as well, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Apart from the tennis? Okay. And anything you want to say to like young children today? Because what I find is that, initially when kids are small, like you're saying 4 or 5, parents normally let them try out everything, lots of different sports. How do you really get to know that, this child is really good at this sport? Because it's difficult for a lay person to know how good a child really is. So your parents have obviously placed a lot of faith in your talent, and obviously your coaches, you got good coaches. How do how should parents be able to figure this out?
I would say just be patient because in the start you don't know if you're good at something or not. Maybe you're good in the beginning, but then you gradually go down.
Right.
I would say just be patient. Patience is key because I'm still patient at the moment. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Um, when you start something, you should have interest in that. Don't do something forcefully. And when you have
Right.
interest in something, you will do good at it.
Right. So that, I
Yeah.
think that's a very important message, because a lot of parents tend to push their kids into things, and if the child doesn't have an interest in it, the kid is not going to do well in it, whatever, how much ever you may push, right? What else? I mean, about what? Tell me some key learnings or takeaways from your years away from home, from boarding. How did it change you as a person?
I became more independent, 100%. Because when I was here, I didn't used to do homework on my own. My mom used to help me. For example, I never made my bed when I was in India.
Right.
Um, so I became more responsible and independent. I knew when I had to finish my homework. I knew when I had to get to training.
Right.
Uh, there was no one waking me up at 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I learned how to travel alone. I traveled for 40 hours
By
non-stop,
yourself.
and yeah, I never
Yeah.
thought of that when I was living in India.
Yeah, I think some of these things are things that you don't realize, but I mean, they will shape and mold you for life. I mean, these are things now that will always sort of stay with you, right? This whole discipline, this, being able to self-regulate, get off social media or get off whatever is distracting when you have to focus. Even in terms of your own body, what you put into your body, what you eat. I mean, now you're home, but I'm sure there's still, so what are you sort of binging on now that you are home and you know you're going to go away again to college? What foods?
So, I'm avoiding. I'm just eating less right now. I'm eating everything, but just eating less.
Okay.
Um, I lost a lot of weight since I'm here.
Okay.
Um, just focusing on tennis more and fitness than the diet. I want
Okay.
to lose more weight by tennis and fitness than on the diet.
So I'm sure as a sports person, you know best what works for you, and
Mhm.
at what phase or whatever what is going to work. And tell me any other sort of message that you have for children, for young children who might be watching, who want to get into something, or for parents, because it's also, I'm sure it's expensive. It's not it's not cheap to send your child to a school like that. But then obviously you had that talent, and you took a collective call as a family that you want to go. But otherwise, for parents, I mean, how really to kind of figure this out? And what is the right age to go? Do you think you went at the right age?
Yeah, I think it was a bit early maybe, but it was the right age because that was the time when I thought I could improve the most.
Right.
Yeah, and message for
And
the children would be to not get distracted at all, stay focused, do what you love, and be patient, and good
yeah,
things would happen.
I think patience is so important, but so
Mhm.
difficult to inculcate, because everybody's, patience levels, everybody's attention span has become so short that nobody wants to even stick with one sport. I mean, you talk to any household with young children, there is a guitar lying, there'll be a tennis racket lying. At some point, they've tried golf or they've tried squash. So many different activities, But I think what you're saying is it's important when you like something, have patience and stick with it, because
Mhm.
it doesn't sort of happen overnight, right? And also, I think a big shout out to your parents, for supporting you, for doing that whole, it's not easy being there in the car 3 hours, 4 hours every day, just sort of looking into your meals and helping you with homework and all of that. That's also really tough. So I think parents also have to, really do a lot when their child gets so focused into one thing. And what else are in anything else in terms of what are you looking forward to going in? I'm sure you want to go to college, of course, like everyone
Mhm.
else, be with friends and all of that. Are you missing your tournaments? Are you missing the action of like playing?
I'm
Or
missing
are
the
you,
academy for sure because normal friends and friends who you spend 24 hours with are different. You get a
yes,
special connection
totally.
that you don't. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
should know you were in
Yeah.
a film school,
Yes,
so
for
I
nine
miss them
years
for sure.
Yeah. And what
And
about your yeah, sorry, go on.
no, no, no. And
I'll
the
say, are you
tournament
missing
as
the
well.
action, or are you
So,
watching it on TV and rooting
uh,
for Rafa?
yeah, I'm supporting Rafa, but Novak is looking good too. He's winning every match
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, of course, but he's had a bad year in a lot of ways. starting
Yeah.
with his, with the tournament that he organized, and COVID. Then, of course, US Open was literally in his bag, but he just sort of blew it. So let's see how that goes. And so, are you expecting to be back maybe by January next year, and then sort of
Yeah,
into
January.
playing and all
January.
of that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wonderful.
Started.
That sounds great. So I think you've talked to us so much about motivation, talked to us about resilience, you've talked to us about fitness, patience. You've said is really key for children to kind of, when they get into it, do something that you're good at and that you enjoy. And, that's how you will really sort of be able to stick with it and do it well. I think not having undue pressure from parents also is probably a key point, because,
Yeah, 100%.
otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, because they never pressurized me of doing something. Like, they never forced me to do anything. If I'm not performing well, they would just say, okay, next time just focus on what you did wrong. I think that
Yeah.
is very supportive from them.
Right. And your dad also, you told me your dad also plays, because I've noticed when there's one parent that is into sports, it tends to they tend to always push their children into at least one sport. So you
Yeah,
said
he
you've
was
seen
into
your dad playing.
yeah,
Yeah,
he was
sorry.
into cricket, and when I was young, I used to watch him play every Sunday. It was really interesting, and I think that's why he supported me in tennis, in a sport.
Right, right. Because the thing is that as parents we can keep telling our children what to do, but if they don't see us doing it, it never has the same impact. So whenever they whenever as a child, I feel you see your parents doing something, whether it's, suppose the person is one of your parents is into fitness a lot, or like I'm saying, like a sport or something, you always tend to kind of, it goes into your psyche. You've seen your dad playing. So I think that also really helps. I mean, if they were just,
Yeah.
if they were home or they were doing their own thing and sending you up and down, and they weren't involved or so invested in it, it would never have the same results.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell me, at university, did you have other people from India as well, or were you the only one?
Yeah, we have at the university or in the academy.
No, sorry, at the academy.
In the academy, we had three other
Okay.
Indians. One was India number 1 in under 12, 14, and 16. He was one of my best friends.
Okay.
One was from Mumbai. He was my age and my level,
Okay.
and others were young.
Okay.
And it
So
was really
now,
nice. We had a friend group, all Indians.
okay. And so it starts from your what? I mean, when you went, like, could you have gone at a younger age, or was that the starting level for the academy?
It was the first year of the academy.
Okay. So now
Like,
also, what age would somebody go? Same 13, 14 itself.
yeah, 13, 14, I would say.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. So great. I think anything else that you would like to add?
Not specifically.
Okay. Great. It's been wonderful chatting with you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Wishing you
you.
lots and lots of luck for the coming years at university, and hope to see you on the court. I'll really be rooting for you. And I love tennis. I'm a big tennis fan. So that's why I always used to, whenever your mom used to send us pictures of you and videos and whatever you've been doing, I used to really, really message her and say, great going. And she used to say, one day you'll interview him. And I used to say, of course I will. So I'm glad I got to do it today. And thank you so much for joining in. Everyone else who joined in as well. And have a wonderful Sunday.
Thank you for having me too.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.